Hi friends, it's Audrey and welcome back to my studio. I am here today with Clique International to share with you how this layout, which was inspired by the March sketch, came together. So before I get into explaining to you about this layout, let me pop over and show you what the March sketch looks like. Okay, so I am using the Mont Blanc collection. I decided that I wanted to kill this kit because there's a lot of new kits that are coming out and I want to make room in my crafty space for some of the new products. So this photo was perfect for the Mont Blanc collection, which has papers from Les Ateliers de Carine, and I also used the Studio 40 Nordica add-on Traveler's Notebook papers, which is over here. So what you're not going to see in the video is you're not going to see me put down this title. I did fussy cut it out. I was waffling back and forth whether I wanted to put the Hiver Parfait, which is translated in English to a perfect winter. I was trying to decide if I wanted to put that down or not, and I ultimately, when I finished the layout, I decided I did not like it. Then I walked away from it for a while, which is sometimes a really good thing to do with your layouts, and I came back and I decided I wanted to put that title on. So I put the title on and I stitched a border around. That you will not see in the video, but the rest of it you will. So without further ado, let's dive in to how this layout came together. Alright, thanks for watching, friends. Okay friends, I am ready to kill this kit. So this is from Les Ateliers de Carine. I believe it's called the Mont Blanc kit in the shop. There's a few more components to it, but I am just pretty much using the papers. I'm also using some of the papers from Studio 40's Nordica collection. So I really want to just get rid of this kit, really kind of break it up and say goodbye to it. So I am planning on using this paper, this picture of me, and some of this paper in the kit, or from the Studio 40 Nordica collection. I believe this is a Traveler's Notebook paper. Maybe some more of this paper because it's more winter-based. This Stay Wild stamp. And for my title, I'm probably going to use this French title that says I can't speak French much anymore. Un Hiver Parfait. So Un Hiver Parfait. Yes, I think I'm doing it correctly. It's been like 20 years since I've spoken French, but it means a perfect winter. So, okay. And I'm going to roughly base this off of the March sketch. Okay, I am done stitching around the edges, and now I'm going to glue on my Okay, so I just marked where I wanted my photo to go. It's going to pop up with pop dots, and I'm going to paint some white around here. Because I want to use this little deer as my embellishment. So this is going to get popped up. The deer, I'm not going to use the Stay Wild down here, but the deer is going to get put here. So I'm going to put some paint around here, some white paint just around here, and then I'm also going to do some pink paint splatter. So I'm going to stamp the deer. Okay, so let me get set up to do the paint. Okay, so now I am ready to paint here. And you can see I did put down another sheet of layer here. And I did mark off with some pencil very loosely where I want my photo to be placed. So I'm going to be painting using the Bad Girls Couture Fallen Angel, which is a white, and I'm going to use some of the grunge. So I'm going to paint a little bit of the white here so I can stamp this down. And then, well, I'll explain to you what I'm doing as I'm going along. So I'm going to start with the Bad Girls Couture Fallen Angel, which is a white paint. So I'm keeping with the very soft colors of this layout here. And I know my photo is here, so this is just to provide some texture here. So this is kind of like a off-white sort of color here, and I just want to be able to see. I just want a little bit here. So I'm using just a little bit of water. I just want a little bit here just to break up so I can put that whatchamacallit, deer shape here. Alright, so that's all I'm really going to do of this. Next, because the sketch has just some beautiful splats, sort of, like paint splatter splats, I guess you can call them. I'm going to be using the watercolor metallics kit that came in the Bliss kit. So I'm just going to splat it around. So there's this iridescent blue. It's very hard to see. So I'm using this brush. The iridescent blue is very hard to see, so it's going to be very, very faint. But I think it's going to provide a nice effect. And when this is dry, I'll show it in the light so you can kind of get the idea of it. Alright, so just getting that ready. Take my oh, wrong brush I'm using. Okay, this is the brush I want to use. So for the splatter, I want to have a lot of water. Because I want to get a lot of water on my brush, so I get kind of the thick paint splatter around there. Okay? That's probably really hard to see on the video because this is really very... Alright, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see that paint splatter. I think you can see it. You see it there? Alright, so that's going to be a very faint iridescent blue. Okay. Alright. Last but not least, what I'm going to do is, because I want to show up with a little bit of color, alright? So I'm going to use the grunge, which is a very light, because it's a very light brown. So the grunge is from the Bad Girls Couture, I believe it's the Capsule Wardrobe collection that you can find in the shop. And also the Fallen Angel is from the Bad Girls Couture. So I'm going to use the grunge, and I'm using a very small paintbrush, and I'm just going to splatter it. So this is going to bring out a little bit of color, and it's going to complement the iridescent blue. It's just a little bit of water, a little bit of paint. Alright, So that's it for my mixed media. I'm gonna let this dry, work on a different project, and then in just a few minutes you'll see how I finish this up. Okay, so my paint has dried, and you will see I did add another piece of paper in there because it's taken me a few days to make this layout. I've had done a few other things, so when I leave a layout and come back, I tend to find different things that I want to add or take away. So anyway, so I added the paper there. So now I am going to stamp on this little feminine deer, and I'm using versafine ink, which is it's a ink. It's from my stash, and it's a very light ink. So stamp it first, just so, yeah, see, it's a very light ink, and I kind of want to keep with the soft sort of pastel colors. Alright, so I'm going to do this a second time and just be very careful. Didn't make it the first time because of the layers, so you can use something like a Misty to put your stamp on the layout. Those never work right for me. I honestly achieve better results just doing it a second time. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I should have thought about this because of the layers, but I'm going to very carefully try to match up the Alright, and then I'm going to carefully lift this and just kind of pat it down. So it's not going to be perfect, but there we go. Oh, I don't know if I like that. Okay. So to be honest, the paint's dry, but I completely messed up. It's hard to see, and I'm going to show you. You're not going to be able to see in a little bit, but I was stamping this deer, this feminine sort of deer stamp, and I completely messed up. So quick and easy fix, what I did was I just painted some more paint down there. Alright, so now I'm going to finish up this layout. I'm going to go through and I'm using versafine Clair ink. It is Morning Mist. I like versafine Clair because when you have a stamp with a lot of detail, it's I forget what type of ink, a pigment ink. So it's really good for detail. So, but I have to show you what I have to do here. So let me get this stamped up. Okay. So the problem that I ran into was because of the layers, the stamp didn't go down because of the layers by pushing it down. So what I'm doing is I just very gently picked it up, and I moved it a little bit, but that's okay. So that's fine by me, that stamping. I mean, I would prefer this type of detail here, but I'll deal with that. That's okay. Alright. So I cleaned my stamps with baby wipes, and then I just blot it down with a paper towel. Alright, I'm using some, let's see, there we go. I'm using some pop dots from my stash just to pop the picture up. So by popping the picture up, I'm giving some more texture, dimension to the layout. Alright, so I have some hearts and stars from my stash, and I also want to use, I'm thinking about using this Perfect Winter for my title, which I'm probably going to put here, which is why I bought some pink elements in. And I definitely want to use some of the labels. So second. So I'm just going to fussy cut out the title. Okay, so I'm looking at this more closely, and I don't really like the color of this pink, because if you look at it, it just doesn't jive right for me. So I'm going to put this aside, and I'm going to change my strategy here. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting down labels to build my title. Okay, so I didn't really like this Perfect Winter, but I don't know. I'm debating on this Perfect Winter. Let's see. So I pulled out from my stash, I pulled out some felt hearts. So I'm just using the white ones. So I'm using a tiny attacher to get the hearts down, so I moved the heart over because I can't get the tiny attacher to reach into the center of the page. Alright, so these are very old enamel dots from my stash as well, that I'm just going to put on the page just to bring a little bit more into it. So I chose these from my stash because of the hearts just kind of match nicely with the colors here. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it done. Alright friends, thanks for watching.